Roger, before we get started, let me just say from Ty Tribble and myself and the other leaders on our team how honored we are to be here with you. And I just want you to know that your team has been incredible, the kindness and the care that they've shown us in this process. And I just want you to know as we get started how honored we are to work with you and go into the future with you under your leadership in the Shaklee Corporation.
Well, Bo, we are excited to have your team join us. I met many of them today, and they are a fantastic group of people, and we feel privileged to be able to be your partner.
Do me a favor and give people a sense of your background and those people in your life that have influenced you in your life and brought you to this place.
Well, I've been very fortunate to have a number of mentors in my life. And while they're all very different, they've had one thing in common, and that is that they really have had a strong, proven track record of helping many people. And one of my mentors was my great uncle, who started off life as a salesman door to door selling clocks. And then somebody came to him and said, why don't you put your clock in our mail order catalog? And so he did that, and he turned that into the #1 mail order company in the UK. And then the products weren't being shipped fast enough, so he started a private delivery service and turned that into the #1 private delivery service in the UK. And then people wanted credit, and he gave people consumer credit, and he turned it into the #1 consumer credit. And he built many, many businesses. But one of the things that he liked the most is that he helped hundreds of people start their own businesses, some of which have become very big companies today. So he used business as a vehicle to help people achieve their dreams. And then I had my mother, who is another one of my role models, who for the last 46 years has dedicated herself to public interest law and to giving the poorest families in this country equal access to the justice system. And about 8 years ago or so, she was appointed by the President of the United States to oversee what's called the Legal Services Corporation of America and really offer people equal access on the national basis for these families. And she devoted her time, again, to help families live a better life. And then another one of my mentors is somebody who was president of the World Bank. And the World Bank's role is to help countries, particularly poor countries, develop and provide the population with health and income and do it in a sustainable way. And so each of these people, whether it was helping people start and create their own businesses or helping families, poor families live a better life, or helping countries develop, all try to make a world a better place. And that is what was ingrained in me since I was a little boy, which is to say, where could I find a vehicle that could have a positive impact on people?
How did you go through the process of first selecting this particular channel and then the choice of the company that you chose within that channel?
So for me, the channel is the ultimate in consumer product marketing, because to have a one-on-one relationship with a customer is the holy grail of what all consumer product companies are trying to do. And the way that that's done is to give a referral from somebody who the customer knows and trusts. So working through people and choosing people to be our vehicle of distribution, not only is it more effective from a standpoint of marketing, but it also allows us to be a company that can make a change and an impact in helping people, because people get rewarded economically for sharing their products. So Dr. Shaklee 55 years ago had a choice. Do we go and sell these incredible natural health products through the traditional retail channel, or try something which at this day was revolutionary and different? And Dr. Shaklee chose to distribute the products through people. And again, because you get a double benefit. Not only did he think that you could tell a more compelling story and give a live testimonial about the impact of the products and experience it, because he thought that the best form of advertisement was somebody who tried our products. But also, by allowing people to be the way through which we distribute these products, we give people the opportunity to earn money and create an economic future for themselves. And so that's that double benefit. So the channel itself is not only great from the standpoint of target marketing or having this one-on-one relationship with the customer, but it's also a way to make a positive impact on the people who are selling it. And so that's what I fell in love with the channel. And it allowed me to accomplish my goals of trying to make a big impact. Because if you can get enough people engaged in this, you can help literally millions of people live healthier and better lives. And then the question of why Shaklee? Well, I had a team of people, very smart, bright people who ran all the numbers and investments, and we came up with a list of criteria of what we wanted from an investment standpoint. And we wanted to be an investment that had growth potential in front of it, because that's how you succeed. And so, a couple of things. First of all, try to find a company that had an impeccable reputation, because I believe that one of the constraints in our industry is the reputation of the direct selling industry. And if you could find a company that could be attractive and real and substantive and never really overhype or overpromise and had a 50-year track record of proof that you can provide an income opportunity and a health benefit for people all those times, that the market potential would be much greater than a company that was just a sort of fly-by-night kind of company, overpromising and under-delivering. Because I believe that reputation is one of the great limitations of why people don't join more into our business. And so there's only 13 million people in the direct selling industry, but there's 300 and something million people in the United States. And I think that every one of those people wants something that we have to offer: better health, the opportunity to create your own business, the opportunity to grow and experience the world. And if we could remove the constraint of reputation and show that it's real and substantive and tangible and evidence that it could last for generations, and we think we could grow the business a lot more. So reputation was important. 2, to be in growth sectors. So in my perspective, one of the great growth industries of the next 20, 30, 40 years is the health industry, because we have to change our perception of what healthcare is. Healthcare can no longer be wait till you get sick and then we'll make you healthy. We can't afford that any longer. We have to keep people healthy so they don't get sick. That's a shift to prevention. And that shift is going to shift tens of billions of dollars over the next few years into prevention side of the equation. And on top of that, there's people all over the world who want access to basic nutrition so they can improve. So the health and the natural health component of it is going to be growing significantly over the next number of years. That's a great place to be. And then demographically, you want to be positioned where the demographics are. So in the United States, for example, the baby boomers, the largest demographic cohort ever in the history of our planet, is coming online. People want to stay younger. They want to feel younger. They want to look younger. They're fighting aging. And so anti-aging as a category within that is going to have a growth area. And of course, young people want to stay vital, and they look at this generation and they want to age better and with more vitality and more youth than ever before. So that's an area. And then green. People care more and more about taking care of our planet. They realize that the impact that what we have as a human species that we need to preserve and protect. So if you can be in the world of natural and chemical-free and taking care of our planet at the same time, these are all growth characteristics. And then finally, there's a huge demand for income. Around the world, in the United States today, unemployment is extremely high, and there's a huge demand for income. And in developing countries, people need a source of income as well, and we can provide that as an opportunity. So as you look at that, among all the companies that we saw, Shaklee was the only one that met all the criteria. It pioneered the nutrition area. It has a leading platform, #1 natural nutrition company in the United States. So it had hundreds of millions of dollars invested in product development and research, quality control, nearly 100 published clinical studies in peer-reviewed publications. So this incredible portfolio, and yet it had so much growth in front of it. So I like to refer to it as a $500 million startup, because it had that history and that heritage, but it had all the growth in front of it that would allow people who join today to benefit from the growth in the future.
You talk about integrity, and I know you recently gave a speech for the Direct Selling Association that you relayed what you thought could potentially be the leaders in network marketing. Would you elaborate on that for everybody?
Well, I was trying to paint a picture and suggest to our industry that reputation is incredibly important. So I said, in my opinion, the 3 biggest companies in the direct selling industry 10, 20 years from now could well be Apple, Procter & Gamble, and Shaklee. And I did that to try to make people think, if Apple decided tomorrow to go and become a direct selling company, I think millions of people would flock and want to be part of it. And the reason is that people would want to be associated with that kind of brand. And if you can have a company that is cool and hip and makes and has absolute integrity And people will want to be ambassadors of that company. They will want to represent that. And that's the picture that I think Shaklee can play. We have this foundation of integrity, of 55 years of doing great things to help people. And that's something that I think people want to be part of. And now we're making it cooler and hipper and more relevant, and we're kind of going through this brand turnaround of Shaklee and making it hugely contemporary and relevant for what tomorrow's needs are. And so we really are one of the coolest companies I've ever seen in my life. And I think people will be attracted to that. And so with our reputation of integrity and the dynamic of what we are doing, I think we can also become a brand that can attract the hundreds of millions of people who are not yet involved in the direct selling industry to be part of our company.